Hello everyone, welcome to another ODNT Spotlight. I'm Steve DeWinter, your host, and I have with us today an excellent, wonderful author guest, Marilyn Almodóvar. And she has written a trilogy. The first two books are out. The first one, in the Chronicles of the Interred, is Interred. And the second one that has already come out is Fisher. And we have with us a sneak peek at the cover. I had to move out of the way of that one. And the third book is called Alternate, and there will be a sneak peek reveal, most likely on her blog, which I'll have the link down below for you for the blog. On November 20th, we will get to see what that cover looks like. And that book is scheduled to come out on December 25th. So this is her Christmas present to the world. So let's switch on over. Hello, Marilyn. How are you?
Hi, Steve. Fine, thanking you.
I'm good. Thank you very much for coming on ODNT and letting us shine the spotlight on you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Excellent. So go ahead and tell me a little bit about the Interred series is a time travel series. So what was your inspiration for just biting the bullet and let's do something where we swap and jump around on time? Because I know from writing a time travel series myself, that was not an easy challenge. What made you decide that's my first series to release into the world?
Actually, I didn't know it was a time traveling series when I started writing it. I had just moved to Tampa from Europe, and I was missing the cold weather. It was Christmas. And I saw you know how it is. You're doing something like doing the dishes and a character comes to mind, and that was one of the characters, Declan. And I thought, oh, he's the Victorian guy and he's going to talk to me and I'm going to write down what it is. And I was very surprised that it was a time traveling novel when I started listening to Baxter, because things didn't work from Declan's point of view. So I switched to Baxter's point of view, and I was like, oh, but this is really cool because I love Doctor Who and I love Back to the Future. And then I thought, well, this is really, really hard because keeping the timeline straight is really hard. But I think it's very rewarding as well when you're writing it and you get to go to, back to the 80s, you get to go to Victorian times, and, discover all of these things that are happening in the book to this girl who just discovered that she can time bend, and she doesn't need a machine. She herself can actually bend time around her to go create a portal and go through to wherever she needs to go.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, because how was the challenge in trying to keep everything straight as you're hopping around time?
That was the biggest challenge, and I'm really, really thankful to my betas and my editor, because they really spot things really quickly. If there was one tiny mistake, sometimes with the dates, they were nudging me and saying like, no, you're off like by 10 years, or she's in the wrong place. So that was very challenging, but it was also fun to see, somebody from the 21st century going through all those places and times. So I liked it. It was a headache.
Yeah, a lot of people, when they write historical novels, they heavily research that one time period that they're doing. But for you, for jumping around time, you had to do research on all different time periods. And I haven't had a chance to read the book yet. Do you also jump into the future?
No. Well, the future, yes, but third book is Baxter goes into an alternate world, and in that alternate world, she is actually in the future. So it's quite. It was difficult to write because I had to remember she's from the 21st century. She's from 2015, and she's going into her future, or a version of her future. So, but yes, for other parts of the book, I had to look up things because they actually went back to the 40s as well. And then I had way too much information because that's one of the time periods that I like the most like Victorian times.
Right.
And then I had to remind myself, yeah, we're not writing a book about the 40s. We're not writing a book about Victorian times. We're just writing a book, just a scene or two about, her going back in time. So I had to tell myself, like, don't do that. Teaching people about 1940s London, just tell them straight, this is what happened. And also it's from the point of view of a 16-year-old. So I had to really think about how she would react and how she would see the world different from her time, and not to give too much information.
Somebody who's grown up with a cell phone since they're, tucked into the edge of their diaper since they were a baby, how do they survive in a world where there's nothing? No internet, no cell phones, no television.
But that's I think in I don't know if we cut that out, but in one of the drafts for the first book, when they go to the 80s, which is the decade I grew up in, says like, well, this is prehistoric times. There's there's no cell phones, there's nothing, and I felt really old writing that scene. but it is that's one of the things that I had to keep in mind. I mean, it's a young person going through all of those things that we take for granted because we grew up, technology improved as we grew up.
Right.
But somebody who has had all of those things all their lives, like you said, since they're babies, it's a nice change, I think, for them to see how it was.
Very eye-opening story that you've written for them to say, here's what life was like in the 80s. I remember my first portable CD player took 9 AA batteries, and the batteries would last 40 minutes, just barely long enough to play one CD before they were dead. And I was so excited. I could listen to a CD anywhere.
It's like, I remember I put mine on layaway because it was really expensive to buy one of those portable ones. And I remember that. And now it's like, they don't even use those. Like everything, on the phone. Oh, I'm listening to music on my phone. It's mind-boggling.
MP3? What's that?
Yeah.
Very cool. So you've got the third book coming out at the end of this year. So you're looking for December 25th, an actual Christmas Day release. So everybody gets to unwrap their Kindle and immediately download the entire trilogy.
And it's also the main character's birthday. So that's why my editor suggested it, that we did that. Because it's Baxter and her companion, who's Jack, it's their birthday.
Oh, so they're born on December 25th? Oh, that must make life rough for them for presents. They only get presents once a year.
Yeah.
So you go and... So this is it. You've been working on this series for about 2 or 3 years now.
4.
4 years.
Yeah.
And so are you planning to write any more in this, or is this just going to be a trilogy for you?
That's what I say. I don't know if in the future I'll revisit, but I have some little very, very short stories that I'm going to release before Alternate comes out, so people can read about some of the other characters who didn't make it into the book. And
so you've got some deleted scenes.
Yes.
Oh.
I have some original little stories, not flash fiction, but like flash fiction, that I'll just upload to the blog.
Oh, very nice. So, for everyone watching here, I have her blog, which the full title of it is Writing on the Sunny Side of the Street. But it's writingonthesunny.blogspot.com. For those of you watching, and if you're watching this embedded in another website, click on the little button down there that says Watch on YouTube. And I've got all the descriptions down below, and I'm including her website. I also, to connect with Marilyn, I have her Facebook, her Twitter, her Google+, her Goodreads, and her YouTube channel. But go ahead and click on writingonthesunny.blogspot.com, and that will be her blog, where she also just told us she's going to be posting some flash fiction and short stories, things that didn't make it into the novels, but enhance the story and let you see other characters, right?
Yes.
Excellent. So, how does it feel to be done with this trilogy?
sad. It's amazing how attached you become to the characters, and you put them through so much as an author, and then at the end it's like, oh, I can't torture you anymore.
Yeah, don't make it easy on them.
But it's I'm also very happy about it because I like every other person who's aspiring to write a book, I went through years and years of trying to publish and being rejected and saying I'm never going to write another book again, and then writing another book. And I was very lucky that IMB Books liked my book, and Rain Thomas took me under her wing, and she helped me get the books out. So I'm sad, but I'm very happy about the opportunity, and hopefully people will like it and they'll continue to read my books.
Excellent. So what's next for you after the Chronicles of the Interred? So book 3 comes out this December.
Yes.
And it sounds like the writing bug has fully fixed itself on you, and you're going to be writing more. What can we expect from next? What's from the great Marilyn Almodóvar? What's next?
I have a series of books that I titled, the series is called Stories from the Veil, and that'll be 3 or 4 books, and that'll be young adult, upper YA, because the older one, and it's set in first book is set in Paris, second book is set in London, and I have to say, I lived there for a long time. That's why those things are all set over there. And the third book will be set in the States, but I'm still looking for a place that can serve as the right setting for that story.
Someplace interesting.
Yeah, and that series will have a lot of different stuff in it. It's going to be how can we say? It's going to be meshed together at the end, because every story will follow each other. Like, all the characters will be going from one book to the other, but I'll change focus on the characters.
To who's the primary protagonist?
The first book, we have a girl she's a sphere catcher, which is a sort of thing that I invented, where she can trap bad people into a sphere.
Ah.
But she's going to be a guardian to a girl who's a phoenix in the second book. So the first book is called Spheres, and the second book, I know for now, is called The Dragon and the Phoenix. So my girl from the first book will be in the second book, but the phoenix will be the protagonist.
Excellent.
And the third book, I still haven't really figured out what's happening, but but it's there. I'm just trying to figure that out, and all of those characters will be there, and they'll have a ball of a time, because they're gonna have great adventures. And after that, I have a steampunk book that I'm actually trying to outline now, because I'm a pantser. I don't really do outline.
Ah.
But I saw how difficult it is to keep things straight when doing time traveling. And since the steampunk book is set in the future, I really needed to kind of figure out something. So it's sort of a dystopian post-apocalyptic world, and that one I've written a lot more, and that one is called Airbrushed. And this, actually, I have to say that another author, Michelle Cornwell Jordan, was really nice, because she told me that is a steampunk book when she read the excerpt that I show her, because I have been working on this idea since 2009.
Oh, wow.
And I've left it. I've written like 10,000 words, and then I leave it because I don't know what's happening, and I couldn't understand why the character wanted to go one way when it was definitely not that way, because how we get, like, no. But she told me, and she was like, yes, that sounds just like steampunk. So I thank her from the bottom of my heart, because now it's really easy to write. And that character is she's going to be going through the torture as well. She's probably going to hate me by the end of the book. And I'll be a standalone book as well.
Oh, excellent. Excellent.
They'll probably come out before the Stories of the Veil. Because I really want to release those 3 books together rather than release them one by one.
Oh, so you're going to write them all up, get them all ready, and release all 3 at once.
Yeah, because I already have the first 2 books are written. They just need to be edited and looked at by an editor. But after I finish the 3rd book, I would really like to do that. Because I know people don't like it when you leave them hanging for a long time. And it's my thank you to the people who have read my books, because I did leave them with a big cliffhanger at the end of Fisher, going into alternate. So
George R.R. Martin could take some pointers from you.
Well, you know, I like people on Twitter will tell me like, I like the book, but you left me hanging. Like, when is the next book coming out? And then it's taken 1.5 years. For that last book. It's the longest book I've written.
Oh, wow.
So it is, I say that, but like under 90,000 words. Like compared to the others, it's longer. And I really wanted to make sure alternate has, you know, like all of the stuff needed to be explained, and, you know, the adventure, and giving them a little bit of, you know, this is what's going to happen in their future. So people know that I didn't torture them in vain.
They get their happily ever after.
They do. And I was very happy to give it to them, because I really love those characters. I think they'll stay with me for a long time.
Excellent. Excellent. So it sounds like you've been very busy, and at the same time, you also run your Writing on the Sunny Side blog. And you do a lot of blogging there, but all sorts of different things. But you also have guest posts.
Yes, I do.
Well.
Yes, I do. Unfortunately, I had a problem with my last blog, and I had to delete a lot of the stuff that we had in it.
Oh no!
Yeah, I know. And but you know, I restarted it, and I'm approaching authors again to come into the blog and to, you know, just have an interview, do an interview, or do a video interview, or, you know, whatever they feel like, or just show me excerpts from their books. I think it's very important to, you know, for our writing community to be nice to each other and to support each other, because it's not a competition, you know, we're all here supporting each other. So
exactly. And it's not like somebody buys one book and they go, well, I bought my book this year, so I'm
right?
good. No, readers, they want more and more and more.
Yeah, but that's the whole point of it, and we want to encourage people to read books, and, you know, to continue to buy books, and to continue to buy books for their nieces, nephews, for their brothers. So I think it's important, and I've been very lucky to have a lot of good authors come and people, you know, very busy people, to say, oh yes, I'll come over, and, you know, I'll do the interview, and sometimes they write their own guest posts, about inspiration or about characters, world building, and which is great, because also some aspiring authors come into the blog and see that, and, you know, get inspired, or, you know,
it helps them out.
They'll see we all have bad days.
Right, we get to see we're not alone with our struggle for writing.
And you know, especially like when I see people on Twitter telling me like, oh, but the story's going nowhere. I was like, just keep writing it. Just keep doing it. Just keep going until you get to the end. And then, you know, that's what editing is for. Then you go back, and then you think this is not good at all, and you restart. And it's normal. We all do it. I mean, we all go through that. Even really, you know, everybody does it. So that's why I like hosting the authors on my blog, and especially because I think that's the most important thing is, you know, to help each other and promote each other, and see, you know, that there's no competition. Everybody's writing good books.
Right, we're all in this together.
Yeah. No, I'm going to sing the High School Musical song.
So I have to ask you actually, so the big debate right now for writers is pantsing versus plotting. Are you just sitting down and writing into the dark, or are you actually outlining everything out? And for that, and you actually wrote a time travel story, pantsing it.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm impressed.
I left, well, don't be. I have a very good editor. So like, no, let's just no, go back. Let's tweak this and go back. But the first book, like I said, I didn't even know she was a time bender, and I was just writing, and then somebody came to her door and told her that she's magical, and I was like, oh, she's a witch, cool. And then it's like, they interred, they have to go through an initiation on their birthday, because it's the English council who came to her. And the English council, interred is not actually a funny word. It's actually they are buried. And they have to release themselves from wherever they are by using their abilities. And when I was writing that scene, I was like, oh, she's a time traveler. She's a time bender. Cool.
It just happened.
Yeah. And then for the third book, I did have an idea, which was after writing Fisher, which was really hard to write because of all the things that are going on with her. I said, okay, I'm going to just write 10 points of what I want to do in the book and 10 points of things that I need to bring an end to and let people know, okay, this is what happened and this is how it happened, and that's the end of it. And I started writing, and I forgot about them. I misplaced the paper. I was like, well done. So now I have plenty notebooks around for things like my steampunk and stories from the Veil. So I don't lose any of the characters in the, like sometimes you forget them, and So yes, so now I'm trying to outline. I think pantsing is great because you get surprised, and
it's like you're reading the story while writing it.
Exactly.
And that is one of the benefits of doing the pantsing method, is you're experiencing the story how the reader will get it.
Yes.
And exactly. I love that. I've pantsed several of my novels. I've also outlined heavily other novels. So yeah, I've done both directions, both ways, and they're both great.
To that outline, when you've done an outline, have you been able to follow it? And
so no.
No.
The important, for me, I've written an outline that was 1 page, and I've written an outline that was 80 pages.
Wow.
I wrote a 20,000 word outline. And that was just the outline. There was no detail. Just here's what happens in the story, and that turned into a huge, huge book and everything. And I noticed that when I did the outline, it helped me think about the story, so that when I started actually writing it out, I deviated from my outline. Maybe I came back to it, and then I deviated again and came back to it. I still let myself pants away, even though I had an outline of an idea. So if I deviated wholly from it, I was okay with that. And that's, I think, one of the important things for people in the debate of outline versus pantsers. Well, I want to outline because then I'm stuck with it. No, you're not.
So you see, that's how I think, because I think, oh no, but I wrote this. I should follow it. But then it's like, no, well, actually, no.
Yeah, you're not stuck with that. That was just your very minuscule first draft, and change it up to make it better. And it just helps you think about it more. So the people who think that, oh, well, if I outline, then I'm stuck with something that isn't any good. No. That was just your thinking out your story and then move on.
We'll see. Still not convinced. If I wrote the entire, like, even for the steampunk book, even if I write an entire outline, I feel like I have to follow it. It's like, maybe I'll just write something, just like advice. Here you go, maybe you can do this.
Yeah,
but it was not think of it as an outline, because
Yeah, I know it was not easy to write 20,000 words that weren't even the narrative and abandon some of them.
Mm-hmm.
But it came with a much better story because the brain works on it in the background.
Yeah.
And it gives me new ideas and everything of, ooh, this would be better.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's good when you have those moments and you're writing in the middle of a scene and something else comes in and clicks and it's like, oh, that's exactly what I needed.
Uh-huh. Usually comes from a dialogue of a character that, I did minimal dialogue for my outline. So once the characters start interacting and all the stuff happens for them, then that's when the new idea came in. So don't feel when you're doing your outline you have to stick to it.
I'll remember.
It's not set in stone. We gave up writing on rocks a long, long time ago.
I know. We'll see. Well, I know it's so easy with the computer now.
Yes.
No, typewriter to delete stuff is horrible. You would have to do the whole page again. But now it is easy to go back and just change stuff.
Exactly.
But still, I would still feel like I'm betraying the original thought. So.
No, that was just the process, the step to get you to the new thought. All right. Well, I have hit all the points that I had for the interview here. Before we shut this interview down, is there anything, Marilyn, that you would like the viewers watching or potential readers or your current fans to know?
I think my books they're clean books. I think that's important for some people who read YA. They're clean books, and there is a lot of fighting, but it's all good. Good people fighting the evil. And if you like Doctor Who and Back to the Future, hey, time traveling.
Woohoo!
There it is. And she does a lot of she's a little bit of a geek. So she does a lot of references because I'm sorry, but it goes through my mind and goes right into her mind.
There's a lot of you in that character.
Yeah, a lot of the geeky side. Because I think her strength and everything else, I base that off other people that I know. But her geeky side is definitely me. So yeah, she has a lot of. If you like Doctor Who and Supernatural and Marvel and DC, she will be not quoting, but she will be making references in the most inappropriate places, like when it's not the time, because that's how she is. But they are, they're really, really nice books, I think. They're my books. I can't say they're
excellent.
not.
Well, then that means they're the best.
But especially, I know, I saw a debate on Twitter about, YA, and I said, well, they are clean books, and there's a little bit of romance, but they're not romantic books. They are adventure, and if you like time traveling and magical beings and elementals and all those fun things, go read them.
And I love all of that. Go read them. So there it is. There's the first cover right behind her. All right.
Yeah,
well,
I can give you a quick sneak peek.
All right, you get to see it here first, folks.
Picture, and there's the last one.
Ooh. All right, so you got to see it here first. The official cover reveal for that comes on November 20th.
Yep.
So, excellent. So you get to see it much clearer and sharper.
Yeah, and actually, I kind of show you the whole thing, like, I would like, because, my editor and my publisher would be like, no! November 20th.
Well,
so
you get to see
my
it.
blog down below and see it.
Excellent. All right, well, hey, thank you so very much, Marilyn, for coming on ODNT and letting us shine the spotlight on you and your wonderful, wonderful time travel work and the future stuff you have coming for us.
Thank you very much, Steve.
All right, so don't hang up just yet. I'm going to go ahead and shut down the interview, and then I'll come back and we'll chat for a couple more minutes. All right, but thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
Okay, so we got to see a sneak peek of the full cover of that. You'll have to go back and pause the video and stare at it for the next 2 months before you get the full high-resolution cover reveal officially on November 20th. And so Fisher and that. So again, thank you very much for joining me. We had Marilyn Almodóvar with us today. And definitely go and check out, I've got the links down below to her Amazon site, so you can check out the first 2 books, Interred and Fisher, and you can get those now so that you can have those read and done in preparation for Alternate, Book 3, which comes out in December on Christmas Day. So that's your present. There, look at that. Marilyn has you taken care of. Christmas, taken care of. All done. There's your presents for everyone. So go ahead and check that out. Don't forget to subscribe to ODNT. I have many more authors, artists, actors, musicians, all coming on my show. I've got a big roundup lined up for the next month and a half already, booked solid. So don't forget to subscribe to this channel so that you can be informed when the next one comes out. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.